Hello, this is Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer.
Welcome home.
Soar into tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Hey, it's Amy from DVC Clubhouse.
Hey Clubbers, it's Scott from DVC Clubhouse.
Hey, it's Kathleen from DVC Clubhouse.
Welcome aboard. It's Phil from DVC Clubhouse.
Hey, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Debrief podcast brought to you by DVC Clubhouse. This is Amy, and I'm joined by Phil, Scott, and Kathleen. Happy Valentine's Day, guys.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Lover's Day.
Aw, happy Valentine's Day to you guys. Is anyone doing anything exciting? Because I am not.
No.
Packing for Disney.
I hate you. How's that for Valentine's Day?
I love you too.
I think that I'm going to be finishing an episode of The Bachelor with my daughter. You know, watching somebody else's romance bud.
Speaking of The Bachelor, real quick, there is a new show on. Have you ever heard of it? It is called Farmer Needs a Wife.
Yes, I've heard Scott talk about it quite frequently.
Yeah, I said that you cannot disturb me on Thursday nights from 9 to 10 because I'm watching that.
It's like The Bachelor, but it's just a farmer. And one of the farmers this season is actually from Polk County, right down the road from us.
You've got a local celebrity. Wait, is his name Scott Huff?
I have no words.
Farmer needs a wife. That is not what we're talking about here, folks. That is not what we're talking about.
She said Bachelor, so I had to bring it up. I had to ask.
You know what? I like where this is going. Forget what we were supposed to talk about. Let's go down this road.
What do you look for in a farmer? Amy, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
What do you got, Amy?
I've got absolutely no comment over here. All right.
So what are we really talking about, Amy?
Well, first, I just want to address that I'm a little bit hoarse because I'm getting over being sick. So,
horse.
You're a little hoarse?
I'm a little hoarse. I look for a little horse with my farmers. No, I am a little hoarse because I'm getting over a little cold that I took home from Disney with me. The souvenir that keeps on giving. Every time I leave Disney, I bring a little.
You always get sick. Always.
I know. It's ridiculous. But anyway, enough about that. We are here today, whenever you're listening to this, to talk about, similarly to the last episode when we discussed what we would do if we had a day on the monorail loop where we could not go to a park. What would we do if we had a day at Crescent Lake? Where would we stay? How would we spend the day? The only limitation really is that you cannot go to a park. So you can't go into Epcot, you can't go into Hollywood Studios, but otherwise I think everything else around Crescent Lake is fair game. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Does the Skyliner count, or do we want to make the Skyliner off limits and make a Skyliner episode?
Sorry, if we can't make Wilderness Lodge or Fort Wilderness part of Seven Seas, then Skyliner is out.
Well, I agree with that because I think Skyliner is its own kind of little universe.
Can I also point out, what is it with Amy and her adverbs? Funnily, similarly.
Listen, I like to paint a picture with my words.
Like a Jackson Pollock, but okay, moving on.
Would you like me to become less verbose?
Don't ask us to answer that question.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh, guys. Anyway, all right. So the rules are we're staying at a Crescent Lake resort. We have to spend the day at Crescent Lake. You cannot get on the Skyliner. You have to stick to Crescent Lake and you can't go into the parks. So.
Ugh.
So close to International Gateway. I think this one's going to hurt more than
Seven
Seas.
Just watch people go into Epcot. That sounds like fun.
So, so I have predictions about where everyone's going to stay. And I think
Yeah,
we're all
so
going
do
to
I.
be at a
We're
different
all going to be
resort.
hanging out at Boardwalk, and you're going to be at your beloved beach club. I mean, we can all
Oh,
see
I
that
thought,
one coming, right?
Phil, I thought you were at Yacht Club.
yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you were going to spring for the yacht club.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
going to the Yatch Club.
we pronounce it Yacht Club in Ohio.
You know, you might be surprised with me on this one.
All right, some surprises in store. All right, Kathleen, you open that door. Where are you staying?
I went first last time.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
So I will 9 out of 10 times always pick Boardwalk over Beach Club. But in
Oh.
this case, I'm probably going to pick Beach Club only because I'm able
You want
to
to get a cabana.
Yes, I'm able to get a cabana.
I'm
So-
sensing a recurring theme here.
So I will be at Beach Club. I'll be able to get a cabana.
Oh wait, I have a
I
question.
might be-
I'm sorry, I have a question. Does Swan and Dolphin count? Swolfen?
I was going to ask that question. Technically, they are on Crescent Lake.
We'll leave it to our judge, Amy.
I mean, I think that they count because you can walk to them.
Okay, that changes my day. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So Beach Club, cabana. I would probably go over to Ale and Compass for breakfast.
Good choice.
Spend with the majority of the day at the cabana and the pool as long as I could. And then I would probably try to rent a boat to go around Crescent Lake. And then probably get ready for dinner at either Trattoria or Rosa. I'm not sure. So I think that's it. Beach Club, breakfast at Ale and Compass, Beach Club all day at the pool in the cabana. Take a little break, take a boat ride around Crescent Lake, go get ready, get a shower, and go to dinner at either Trattoria or Rosa. Not sure yet which one.
That's a boring day.
It's a perfect day.
I didn't want to say it, but that's what I was thinking.
Oh my god.
You don't have to go.
I'm not to that.
What's your day?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I, too, will start my day getting up and having breakfast at the Ale and Compass.
So you'll be joining me there?
You're where are you staying, Scott?
I am going to stay at the Boardwalk. No question. Sorry, Beach Club, not a fan. It's okay, but Ale and Compass for breakfast. I'm going to order the shrimp and grits with the buffet. It's an excellent choice. And then probably going to go for a run around Crescent Lake. I want to go to a gym, and I think I'm going to stay with Hustles and Bustles. Muscles and Bustles? What's it called? Hustles and Muscles? Muscles and Bustles. Over at the Boardwalk.
It is Muscles and Bustles.
Thank you. I'm probably going to hang out there for a little bit. I would say that I'm going to, at some point, just take a nice little boat stroll around Crescent Lake. Lunch. I'm probably going to do the pizza at the Boardwalk Pizza window that everybody has previously said they love so much. And then at some point in the afternoon, I'm going to go to the Bellevue Lounge. I love Bellevue, just to be able to sit up there on the balcony and to look out at the, what do they call that? The green?
The Village Green?
Thanks. And I'm going to have a couple of drinks at that Bellevue Lounge, and then I'm going to go to Abracadabar and have one drink there. And then I'm going to go to Martha's Vineyard and probably have one drink there. And then I'm going to have dinner at Rosa.
So what I'm gathering is that you're not going to step foot in the pool.
Oh, no, I don't need to go to the pool. I'm going to go to Rosa, and then I'm going to go visit Jordan over at Rosa Mexicano. And then I'm going to end the night singing Sweet Caroline at Kimonos.
I mean, Hannah or what's it called?
Hurricane Hannah's.
Hurricane Hannah's is just a given when you're at the pool at Beach Club. So
Sorry, I'm staying away from Stormalong. That's my day. I don't know if it makes sense, but
Well, it sounds like you're lounge hopping for the second half of your day.
yeah, I think I like the breakfast, start the day with a nice little workout and a breakfast, kind of relax. And then once those lounges open up, just kind of go around and have a drink here and there. And then finish up, like I said, at Rosa for some dinner. And then I really enjoy the karaoke at Called kimonos, right?
Yes.
Kimonos? Yeah. Sounds like a fun time.
At this one.
Maybe go to Atlantic Dance Hall and bust a move. Nobody's joining me.
I'm just shaking my head here. Just imagine. I'm visualizing this whole thing.
Most of it, there already is a video. I can send it to you, but
I might change my plans just to watch all this. I'm not going to lie.
Or we could probably piece this day together through various different videos that Kathleen has taken over the last couple of years.
my editing skills are improving, so I can make that happen. But that's it. That's my day.
So I am definitely staying at the beach club, as predictable as I can get there. And although I do enjoy the cabana, I feel like for the purposes of this podcast, I need to have a more robust day. And also because, you know, if I'm trying to piece a day together of what you can really do there, the cabana is one thing, but there are so many other things to do. So I will probably wake up and go to the beach club marketplace, and I typically get a kid's meal for breakfast, a Mickey waffle from, what is that raised eyebrow?
I'm just compare and contrast. Scott's going to get up, go to the gym, and then go lounge hopping, and you're going to get up for a Mickey waffle and a Choco Moo chocolate milk.
I'm waiting for the water stare.
I'm not like a huge breakfast person. So, going to a big sit down breakfast isn't that appealing to me, but a little Mickey waffle sitting in the solarium at the beach club, I enjoy that because it's great people watching. Just, sitting there with my coffee, eating my Mickey waffle, and then heading out to the beach club, to the boardwalk area of the beach club, over like onto the beach or, the yacht club marina, just to sit on a bench and as I like to do, stare into the void and just relax. Phil's least if you thought that the cabana was boring, I just feel like you're so disappointed and disgusted in me right now. Everything I say, you're
Why
either
would you
raising
ever
your
think
eyebrow
that?
or shaking your head or just closing your eyes. Like you're so
We were calling
exasperated right now.
Kathleen's day boring. Kathleen's day is ADHD on meth compared to your day.
I haven't even gotten past breakfast.
And we already fell asleep.
And we've already had 3 moments of zen, you staring at your feet, and we fell asleep twice.
How dare you say that?
Is that what it's called? I'm going to have to bleep that one out again with Mackenzie.
That's what it's called. Anyway, going on to the next part of my day that you will hate, I am going to go to the Mandara Spa at the Dolphin. I didn't go to the spa at the Grand Floridian for the monorail day because I don't love that spa, but I really enjoy the spa at the Dolphin. And that is very zen. It's like actually zen, like a Buddhist zen, like Zen Buddhist theme. I love that. So I'm definitely going to go and do that. And then I haven't decided yet where I'm going to have lunch after my massage. I'll probably get a massage, maybe, and a facial because why not really pamper myself? And for lunch, see, this is where this gets tricky for me and not being able to go into the parks because I don't really eat my meals, like definitely not lunch around Crescent Lake. I'm always like if when I'm staying on Crescent Lake, I always go into Epcot and we'll eat something there. So I think that for lunch, I don't know, maybe it will be Hurricane Hannah's. I'll just grab something at Hurricane Hannah's and sit. I love that area over there. Probably after that, head to Stormalong Bay, go down the water slide a couple times, relax there for a little while, continue to relax, even
You can
though
come hang out at the cabana.
yeah. Oh, exactly. Kathleen's gonna have a cabana, so oh my gosh, Phil and Scott are both falling asleep.
Well, I'm
And
sorry, what?
then
Huh?
I'm
What?
going to and then
Holy.
after relaxing, okay, so for dinner, I'm gonna go to
And I'm
Flying
going to take a
Fish.
nap.
No, I'm gonna go to Flying Fish for dinner. Maybe beforehand, I'll go to Bellevue, get a cocktail or a glass of wine.
I'll be there.
I could potentially, depending on how I feel, play some mini golf over at the Swan. And then I'm definitely, regardless of what else is happening in between, like I'll probably pop into some of those lounges that Scott mentioned, but I'm definitely ending my night at Jelly Rolls. That is like absolute must do. That doesn't close until 1:45 a.m. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to head back to the beach club where I'm going to climb into my comfy Disney bed on my comfy Disney pillows and go to sleep.
Sounds amazing.
So let me get this right. You've got Mickey Waffles and mini golf. Then you're going to go into a 21 plus club at night. This seems rather dichotomous.
I'm going to a spa. You forgot about the spa.
I'm just trying to get past Mickey Waffles and mini golf, and then you're pretending you're an adult later on in the day.
I've gotten the kids menu at the marketplace with Mickey Waffles. It's good.
Definitely dichotomous.
I mean,
Wait,
seriously,
is
you're
dichotomous
making
Lee a
fun of
word?
me and
Because
the words that I
Amy will try to
use.
slide that into a conversation
Is
later.
that like an old dinosaur?
Dichotomatus Rex.
Dichotomous Rex. Anywho's.
I'm a really well-rounded person. Look, I can meditate, and then I can go down water slides, and then I can go to the spa, and then I can go to Jelly Rolls and sing until I don't have a voice. So, there are many facets to me as a person. And I think that you've probably witnessed them all. So this shouldn't come as a surprise to you.
I did forget something.
So did I. Actually.
Well, you only had 3 things in your list, so that's not hard to.
Well, I would like to change out my Ale and Compass breakfast for the Mickey Waffles at the marketplace because Scott knows that I do enjoy that marketplace.
The one thing that we agreed on that we were going to have together, she just changed.
So that, and I forgot about Roe at the boardwalk. He's one of the entertainment there at the boardwalk, and I really enjoy watching him. So I'd go see him.
I forgot one too. If I could cut in before Phil starts, I forgot Beaches and Cream. I need a No Way Jose at some point, and that's
I had it in my day. You can come with me. I'm just thinking. Amy said she wasn't really going to do lunch, but I'm thinking in continuing with the theme, I need to go get her one of those beach pail and shovel lunches with the Uncrustable from Hurricane Hannah's, and she can have that by the pool.
That sounds good.
So I don't really eat peanut butter that much because my kid is allergic. So I probably really enjoy it, to be honest.
Then we can sit you in the sand bottom pool and you can play in the sand for the afternoon, make some sand castles.
And I'd get to eat some peanut butter. It would just be, this is the perfect day, Phil. Thank you so much for thinking of me.
Perfect. I'm so
That's
glad I could
such a
make
good
this worth
idea.
it for you.
All it took was peanut butter and jelly.
That's all it was, a PB&J and a beach pail and a shovel, and she was happy.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, when I don't have, like on the weekends, if I go for bagels and my kids are not with me, particularly Emma, who's the allergic one, I will get peanut butter and jelly on a cinnamon raisin bagel, and I sit there and I eat it like in shame, knowing I'm like this person who eating it in secret because I feel guilty, and then I have to come home and I have to brush my teeth and wash my hands, but I sit there and it's bliss. So honestly, Phil, you really hit the nail on the head with the peanut butter and jelly. So thank you.
Well, peanut butter is an integral part of my diet. If I had to sacrifice either peanut butter in my life or a child, I'm pretty sure we could make more children.
What about peanut butter or ice cream?
Well, Scott and I have that already covered.
Well, that's the No Way
Put them
Jose.
together. That's right. Oh yeah, that sounds so good.
And I've never had that. I need to have that sometime. So
Damn.
I might need to pop in and before I head over to Jelly Rolls and have some of the No Way Jose with you guys.
Yeah, it's a classic. I love it.
Yeah, it's solid. So I am torn. Part of me wants to stay at Yacht Club because I think that's where I want to begin and end my day, because I think that early mornings at Yacht Club are amazing, and at night you can go sit on the beach at Yacht Club and just kind of hang there at 1 a.m. after you're done with everything. But I really love Boardwalk. I like the pool. It's not as chaotic. I like the gym over at Boardwalk better. So I might have to flip a coin on that one. I think if push came to shove, I'm probably staying over at Boardwalk. And since this is a fantasy, it's a Boardwalk 1 or 2 bedroom, and you guys can all come hang with me. So we've got some space there. I'm not sitting in a yacht club studio. I typically don't eat 3 meals a day. So if I've got to pick, I think I'm going to get up. I'm going to enjoy the sunrise over Crescent Lake. I am then going to go hit the gym first thing in the morning because nobody picked Trattoria for breakfast.
It's
And
a good
Trattoria
breakfast.
has always had a very solid breakfast, but it's a heavy breakfast. So I don't think I was thinking after our last episode, I talked about going over to Steakhouse 71 for breakfast and then coming back to work out. And when I was listening to the episode, if I have breakfast at Steakhouse 71, there is no way I am getting into the gym afterwards. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to be feeling like I'm 400 pounds trying to waddle my way into the gym over at Floridian, and there's no easy way to get there, and you got to get on the monorail. So I'm going to go early on to the gym. I'm staying at Boardwalk against my better judgment. And after that, probably go relax by the Boardwalk pool because I like that pool. I think we've talked about it better than Stormalong Bay. I think Stormalong Bay overall is a better pool. But if it's just us, I'm not there with the kids. I don't want to be surrounded by chaos, fighting with people who put a beach towel over their chair at 6:30 in the morning to save that chair and 12 others for everybody that was coming with them. And then the chaos of having to go from one side of the pool to the other. The lazy river sounds like a great plan, but the water temperature in the lazy river is always just like 3 degrees above freezing. So it's not all that relaxing. I will stick there. With that said, for the afternoon, instead of having lunch, I'm walking over to Beaches and Cream and I'm just going to have some ice cream. I think in No Way Jose in the place of lunch will probably set me up rather nicely. After that, probably wander back, relax a little more around Beach Club, get cleaned up, take a shower, take a little break, then wander back down. Let's see, by this point, it's probably 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm thinking probably go meet up with Scott at the lounge or down at Abracadabar, just hang out for a while, relax. And then I am going over to Rosa for dinner, like that was ever in question. Scott and I can have the enchilada sampler plate again because it's phenomenal,
Excellent choice.
right? And if Em and Kathleen are with us, then it sounds like we're doing cocojitos and more margaritas because that seems to be the go-to over there.
Definitely.
Leave there. The only problem with this is I really want to work Martha's Vineyard into my night somewhere, but I'm not really sure how because that's such a cool spot to have small plates and just hang around. So, that's the problem with Crescent Lake over Seven Seas Lagoon. There's a lot on both sides, but I would almost be able to do 2 full what would you do days on Crescent Lake because I would play it completely differently both times because there's so many solid options around there. You can do Trattoria for dinner or you can do Rosa for dinner. There's also flying fish there. You could do breakfast in a couple of spots. You could do no dinner and just go over to Martha's Vineyard and have an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of cocktails for everybody else in small plates. There's so much to do around there. But that being said, would probably leave Rosa and go just hang out at the boardwalk for a while. There's always great acts hanging around there, and it's always somebody a little different. Watch that for a while, and then move over to Jelly Rolls, I think, over kimonos and just watch the dueling pianos. Or maybe do both. We could do dueling pianos and then go watch Scott sing at kimonos.
How's your singing voice?
Awful.
You would be perfect then. Perfect.
Absolutely terrible. And then probably end my night over on the beach at Yacht Club, just toes in the sand, looking out over everything, and then wander on back to Boardwalk to call it a night. But again, I could do another full day on Crescent Lake and have a completely different itinerary, stay at Yacht Club, do it totally different, and be perfectly happy. There's so much to do over there.
I agree.
I totally agree. And honestly, I feel like I could stay there for a whole week and have a different day every day without even going into the parks.
Agree.
I don't know that I'd go that far. I can't be that close to the park and not go in the park for a whole week.
Well, in the event that that was the challenge, I could, as I was going through my day, it was kind of like a choose your own adventure book. Like I felt like, you needed to pick one of several options. And it's too hard to choose because there are so many restaurants over there. Well, and it's interesting because like when we had that conversation a few episodes back about the dining on the monorail loop versus the dining at Crescent Lake, and we all said that the dining at on the monorail loop is better. However, the dining options are more plentiful at Crescent Lake, and therefore you could eat someplace different every day of the week for dinner. And now that they have, it'll be so interesting to see what they do with the where Big River Grill was, and Cake Bake Shop presumably will be opening at some point. So there will be two new options to choose from at some point, and you've got Swan Dolphin and the Swan Reserve that have a ton of options. So you could literally just by choosing a different restaurant for dinner every night, you could have a whole different day. And think about all of the things that you can do. You can rent those swan boats at the Swan and Dolphin, so you could, do that one afternoon. You do have the mini golf, so that's something. I don't know, I just feel like there are so many different things. You've got the games on the boardwalk, you've got other boat rentals over at the yacht club, and there are a bunch of different pools to choose from over there, so I just feel like each day could have I could probably spend maybe a week is pushing it, but I could definitely pick a day at each of the resorts and just spend a full day at each of those resorts, taking advantage of what those resorts offer.
I'm gonna let my inner kid come out, and I think one of the coolest things over at Boardwalk is probably the movies on the village green right in the center. We've sat there with our kids where they've gotten up and wanted to go back to the room and do something different. I've actually been disappointed because it's so much fun just to hang out there with the boardwalk entertainment going on behind you and all the lights and flying fishes in one direction, Trattoria, and just watch the movie there. It's such a cool little small town feeling, even though it's right on the boardwalk. There's just enough separation there to make it feels like sitting on my little village green here in my beachside town. It's very cool.
Yeah, that whole area just has such a good vibe to it. And I said when I was talking about my day that I'm not a sorry, a breakfast person, but I do enjoy the Cape May Cafe breakfast buffet. I think that it's a cute character meal. I love what the characters are wearing there, and they have that bread that they bring out to the table, which is delicious. So I could start a day where, I go there for brunch and then, wake up early, get coffee, watch the sunrise, and then have brunch at Cape May Cafe, then go to the pool or take a walk or rent a boat and then go someplace else for dinner because, I've never been to Rosa. I love Amare at the Swan Reserve. I think it's a great restaurant. I've never been to Il Molino. I used to really love Todd English's Blue Zoo. I thought it was definitely one of my favorite restaurants on property. I've only been there once since it's reopened after COVID, and that experience was disappointing. But I would give it another try because that restaurant was one that was always amazing.
It was one of my best meals on property pre-COVID. It was an amazing meal. We visited it briefly on our last visit. We waltzed through Blue Zoo on our way to Rosa, and they were as friendly and welcoming as could be. And the poor hostess looked at us. They weren't even open yet, and we went walking past the hostess stand on the way out, and I complimented her on the quality of the meal, and she just didn't know what to say to us.
Nobody said shoeless.
I think Shula's is overpriced for what it is. We've discussed it, and we've had reservations there a couple of times, but I think if I'm gonna do a steakhouse, I'm probably gonna do Yachtsman over Shula's if I have to stay in that area, and I think there's a bunch of other restaurants I would choose before that. Going back to what Amy said, I think in our Seven Seas versus Crescent Lake conversation, I said that I thought the quality of the top restaurants on Seven Seas Lagoon were better, but I think there's more high quality restaurants on Crescent Lake.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think that it just there's so much variety there that, you have all of these different options to choose from. And what's different about Crescent Lake too is that you do have nightlife options there. So, you could do karaoke one night, you could do Jelly Rolls another night, you could do Atlantic Dance Hall another night. Plus, then you've got the boardwalk entertainment at night. You've got Abracadabar and Bellevue Lounge overlooking, the boardwalk and that entertainment. And that's just so fun too. So, in addition to the movies, you've got that boardwalk entertainment. And so you really have a lot of things to do at night. Whereas at Seven Seas Lagoon, we were kind of saying basically dinner, fireworks, and then Trader Sam's.
Yeah, Seven Seas Lagoon goes to bed early. There's no doubt about it. Where Crescent Lake is far more conducive to nightlife and staying out and being entertained past
Right.
8, 9 o'clock.
Definitely.
But conversely, I do think that Crescent Lake during the day is kind of sleepy. Like there's really not much, there are not a lot of people around there. Whereas if you pop into the monorail resorts during the day, there's always like a bit of a hustle and bustle going on at all of those resorts. So,
Well, that's Magic Kingdom versus Epcot as well, right? I mean, Magic Kingdom tends to be more of the young family, a lot going on during the afternoon, and Epcot tends to be the hot park at night for the adults. So it makes sense to have those two areas be as they are.
and I think all of that just lends to Crescent Lake being harder to kind of define what you would do in one day because it really for me would be a matter of what I feel like that day. Whereas on the monorail, I have my favorites. And I think that's the difference. It's like monorail, I kind of have my tried and trues. I'm going to do those each time. I know what I like, I know what I don't like, but Crescent Lake, there's just so much variety and I kind of like it all and you can't do it all in one day. So it's just a different dynamic.
I've said it before, we own it Polly. We love Polly. But if it weren't for the fact that Boardwalk expires in 19 years, we would 110% own it Boardwalk. We love Crescent Lake that much.
And that's my debate that I always have too with owning at Beach Club because there's part of me that feels like I should be unloading this thing while I can still make money on it and then put that money towards a new contract. But I love Crescent Lake too much and Beach Club is too hard to get into. So I'm gonna hold on to it and see what happens.
Yeah, without the 11-month window, you would have not zero chance because I know people pick up short stints here and there, but your ability to book anything more than 4 or 5 days at Beach Club would just be non-existent. You can't do that without owning and have the 11-month window because that resort is just so small.
And even for my shorter stays, depending on the time of year, if it's a race weekend, if I'm doing a race, you have to book that at 11 months, even if it's for 2 nights, the weekends at Beach Club are tough to get.
For race weekends, you need to book that at 11 months at 8 a.m. and you need to be quick on the book it button because otherwise you're not getting in, period. Those are gone in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, well, for the springtime surprise weekend, I booked Friday and Saturday, and I booked that right away. And then when I decided I wanted to add the third night, I was not able to get it. So I had to wait list.
Yeah, that's not surprising. What did we miss? I mean, there's so much to miss is the problem. All right, so okay, well, let's put it this way. You have a second day on Crescent Lake because we can't seem to cram it all into the first day. What are you doing on the second day? Kathleen, back to you because there's so much there.
Oh boy. Um oh man, I don't know. I'm probably going to be staying at Boardwalk this time. In the morning, I like to have, obviously I like to have my coffee out on the balcony no matter where I'm staying. But I really do like the iced coffee at the Boardwalk Bakery. And I like their one breakfast sandwich they have. I think it's a croissant breakfast sandwich or a bagel there. Those are pretty good. So I'd probably do that. I'd probably go to the pool for a little while, have lunch at the pizza window because I do enjoy their pizza, and probably just relax just around the boardwalk. I love being in that area. I would probably take a few laps around, like going through Yacht Club, Beach Club, probably over to Swan and Dolphin, just just walking, maybe walk the path to Hollywood Studios and back.
I was going to ask that. So if I'm not going to go to the gym, I need to go for a run. Am I limited to Crescent Lake if I go for a run, or can I do the entire circuit to Hollywood Studios?
I mean, you're not
No,
going
I think
into
you
a
can
park.
do that.
All
Yeah.
right.
So I'd probably just hang around, that area pretty much for the whole day. I wouldn't spend the whole day at the pool though. I mean, just half the day. And get ready, probably go to dinner to Trattoria, and then just finish the night either. I'd probably go to Martha's Vineyard at the lounge after dinner.
It's a solid choice. So this is day 2.
Yeah, I think so.
I think if I'm having a second day, I didn't go to Trattoria on my first day, so I got to do Trattoria for breakfast. And then I'm just going to lounge around. I'm going to probably do the pool on the second day, and I'm going to do the boardwalk pool. I don't like Stormalong Bay. I just don't like all the people. I mean, it's a really nice pool, but it gets way too crowded. So I enjoy boardwalk's pool a little bit more. I don't know. I'm going to probably, if I skip the gym, like Phil said, I got to run. And if I run around Crescent Lake a couple times, it's really nice to get up and do that early in the morning. Just relax the whole day, and I would probably, do the lounge thing again. I really enjoy. They have so many great lounges around Crescent Lake with Martha's Vineyard, Bellevue. You've got Abracadabra. You could go over to Swan and Dolphin, and there's so many solid options over there where you could just really have a great time and get a couple of really good drinks. And I think for dinner, since I went to Trattoria for breakfast, I think I want to try probably Yachtsman for dinner because I've never been there before. So I would want to try that and then just finish up maybe like what Amy did on her first night, like at Jolly Rolls or something like that.
And nobody talked about it, but you can sit on the boardwalk area near the yacht club and watch the fireworks at Epcot. And now that they are so much more firework heavy than they had been, you can definitely, take 30 minutes of your evening and just sit on a bench and watch that. So
I forgot about that.
that could be an option as well.
Oh, just wait. That's in my second day.
All right. Well, you tell us your second day.
So I am now going to move over to Yacht Club since I got my second day because I do love that resort. I think for as much as I like Beach Club, I don't love Beach Club. And the difference moving over to Yacht Club to me is extreme, even though they're really the same resort in the same building. I just like the feel of Yacht Club better. So I am going to get up in the morning around sunrise and do the run around Crescent Lake, the Hollywood Studios loop a couple of times, and just let the sunrise across the water as I'm doing that. Then I'm going to come back. I just looked. Rosa used to do a breakfast, and I don't see the breakfast anymore. I just pulled up their website. So if the Rosa breakfast is available, I'm probably going to go back to the room, get a shower, and go over to Rosa for breakfast. If the Rosa breakfast is not available, I might just skip breakfast on this particular day. And since Scott dragged himself from Grand Floridian over to Polynesian to swim in my pool, I'm going to make use of his stay at Boardwalk, and I'm going to go hang in the Boardwalk pool, and he's going to let me in. I figure that's probably a quid pro quo from our Seven Seas Lagoon day, because I really, during the day, just don't have any desire to hang around the Yacht and Beach Club pool. Again, it's an amazing complex. It's incredible. There's a ton there. But hanging around there during the afternoon is just not my idea of relaxing. I can relax a lot more on the boardwalk side. For the afternoon, let's see, after I get done hanging there, probably go back to my room, same thing, grab a shower, get myself cleaned up, take a little break over at Yacht Club. And from there, I'm probably going to wander down to Martha's Vineyard and just do a bunch of small plates, hang out there for a while, leave there, maybe go over to Kimonos, do a little bit of karaoke. And then the one time I'm going to make use of Stormalong Bay is during fireworks, because that's just really cool to be lounging around the lazy river at night if it's warm enough and watch the fireworks going off overhead. That's a really cool way to spend an evening. I have some great photos of my kids on inner tubes going around the lazy river with the fireworks popping overhead. And depending on what kind of shape we're in there, I might get dressed again and head back out and maybe go lounge shopping with you guys wherever you end off the night. But I think that just goes to show there's easily 2 days that are full, and I'm the guy who has to go into the park. Can't help myself. If I'm right there, I have to go into the park. And Seven Seas Lagoon, I don't know that I could pull off 2 full days in those complexes and not get into the park. And on Crescent Lake, I can easily come up with 2 full days of things to do. And as close as Epcot is, and as much as I want to go in there, I could easily fill 2 days.
Yeah,
So a
definitely.
couple of things. When I've stayed at Boardwalk before, there's a coffee shop at the Dolphin called Fuel,
Hmm.
and I've walked over there. They have good coffee,
They have a lot.
specialty coffee drinks. So
I went over there when everybody went to the bar at Dolphin after Rosa one night and everyone else was having a cocktail, and I ran over to Fuel and got myself a coffee and just hung out there. That's another really cool place just to hang out at night, is that bar at Dolphin upstairs. It's lively, it's comfortable, they're attentive. That's a fun place to hang out if you just need to spend an hour, hour and a half relaxing.
yeah, so that's a place that I'd probably find myself walking over to if I was looking, to spend another day just relaxing around Crescent Lake. The the Beach Club Villas pool is
Oh, we're
really
gonna hear
just
about the quiet pool at Beach Club Villas
you
again. Can you
sure
help
are,
yourself?
Phil. You sure are.
Are we gonna talk about the lights that are up at Christmas as well while you're at it? Are you staying during
Oh my
Christmas? You can talk
goodness
about the
gracious.
decorations.
So much aggression towards me today. I don't understand this.
She's just opening these doors. I can't help but kick through them.
Yes, in fact, if it was Christmas time, I would definitely make a point to be laying at the pool at the Beach Club Villa so that I could enjoy
Funnily
the.
enough.
Yeah, funnily enough, I would like to take in the Christmas lights and wreaths at the pool. No, but really, the Beach Club Villa's pool is definitely someplace I would relax. I've said it before, I find it more relaxing than the boardwalk pools. That is definitely a place where I'd be hanging out. And then I had a thought, but then you threw me off of my when you started making fun
Mission
of me,
accomplished.
when you started making fun of me, I switched gears to defending myself instead of staying on task. I don't know. I know what I was gonna say is also that lounge over, I said that I really like Amare at the Swan Reserve, but they have a lounge there that's really pretty and a nice place to hang out. That feels the thing about the Swan Reserve is that it feels much more grown up than a lot of the spaces. So that's a really nice place to go also to kind of feel like you're having some like grown up space and time. So I could definitely see myself hanging out there as well.
So today's the grown up day. Day one was the 7-year-old day, and today's the grown up day.
And if I have my daughter with me, then I can't have any peanut butter. So please do not get me any Uncrustables.
Speaking of grown up, can I just say that I have been distracted this entire episode because every time I look down at the screen, I see Scott's smiling face, and the name across the screen is Your Mom.
Hey, I didn't start that.
Oh
Just
my.
so we know,
I just noticed that.
I did not start that, and Amy is the guilty one that's not even going to admit to it.
I did. As soon as you signed on, I said your mom. I noticed it and I laughed because I knew exactly what it was in reference to.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
just noticed that.
I've been distracted the entire episode. Every time I look over at Scott and Kathleen's screen, I just start laughing because all I see is Phil, Amy, and your mom.
I thought that you were going to say, speaking of growing up, I thought you were going to say that you were distracted by this thing on my face because I've been distracted by it the whole time. Sorry. Anyway,
Well, I wasn't before, but now we have to keep pointing it out every chance we get.
Oh, wow.
sorry. It's going off the rails now, folks.
Yeah, you're not just kidding. Wow.
We were talking about peanut butter and what was it?
Then Amy put in some lip-shaped kazoo or something. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. Thank God
Like
for
I said, I have another
post-editing.
one. I have two of them. Phil mails people microphones. I mail them lip-shaped kazoos. You all better watch out. You don't know what's going to arrive in the mail.
So now that we've distracted you, how are you spending your night on day 2?
Well, so the night before I was at Jelly Rolls. It's definitely karaoke. I don't know who I'm kidding that I'm not going to hit up kimonos and sing Total Eclipse of the Heart until
Oh.
I have no voice.
I was going to ask, that was my question. I was going to ask you guys if you had to go to kimonos and pick one song, what are you picking?
That's my song.
Total Eclipse. Phil, what are you picking?
I think, you know what?
Turn around.
Every now and then I get a little. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
Speaking of off the rails, in memory of the recently departed this week, I think I'm going to have to light up some Toby Keith.
What a great choice.
I'm not as good as I once was.
I told a buddy the other day that song becomes more and more prophetic every single day.
Kathleen, what are you singing?
I'm not sure. I have to think about
I
it.
never heard of that one.
Yeah, I have to think about it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm singing Purple Rain.
I've got to be honest, Kathleen desperately wanted to do a video of us doing our day around Seven Seas Lagoon, and with the exception of Uncle Eddie, I want to do this one far more than I want to do Seven Seas Lagoon, because now we just need to go sing.
Oh, I want to do both, but
Something tells me that the videos that we would take at Crescent Lake would not be videos that would be meant for public consumption.
November, Food and Wine Classic, kimonos at night.
I'm not going to be there. I'm still going to be on the Disney fantasy.
Oh, darn.
We'll be living out our own Disney fantasy.
Well, we have to plan it. So
Well,
you and Amy are here together.
The Crescent Lake night sounds.
Which is never, but.
Well, it has to change.
We can arrange that.
If you're out
Yep,
of points,
we need to make
Amy,
that
we
happen.
have an extra bedroom here.
Oh, I have points from starting August 1st.
Well, I'm just saying if you're ever out of points.
Well,
Crescent
thank
Lake
you.
nights,
I appreciate that.
That sounds way more exciting. If we're singing around Crescent Lake, that sounds. What are we doing at Seven Seas? We were in a bathrobe.
That sounds like the name of a made for Disney Plus movie, Crescent Lake Nights.
Disney After Dark.
Hey, joke all you want. I keep saying we need a debrief after dark that's on a separate channel. So we've got all these kids listening now. We've got to be careful.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't cuss, so I don't have anything to worry about.
I had some podcast topics to throw out there, but they would definitely have to be on an After Dark channel.
All right, we'll discuss that. All right. Any last thoughts on Crescent Lake other than we have to do this desperately? I'm actually far more excited for this one.
Yeah, I want to sing at kimonos with Phil. That beats standing in a bathrobe, looking like Cousin Eddie and saying,
How dare you say that?
"Full."
What about Clubhouse Weekend?
I want to go to Jelly Rolls. I've never been there.
Well, Clubhouse Weekend, we have kimonos and jelly rolls, I think, are on the schedule.
I might need to take Scott and Kathleen up on their offer of their spare room.
It's open.
24 points a night. Preferred view.
Oh,
But they're staying on property.
then I get that. Then I get the master.
You just got bumped up the.
We'll find a place for you, Phil. Don't worry about it.
We'll find a place. Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Where are we staying at? We're staying. Yeah.
You're staying at Grand Floridian and then Animal
yeah.
Kingdom Lodge.
We'll have a place.
We'll figure it out. That'll be a last minute decision.
Well, does anybody else?
What are you talking about?
What did you say?
I said great times. We completely are off topic, but
Oh, we went way off the rails on this one. It started so solid, and then we started singing at kimonos, and it was over.
I don't even remember what we were supposed to be talking about, but it turned out to be a great day at Crescent Lake or wherever.
Have we
And
ever
that's
stayed on
actually
topic?
the topic.
No.
Phil, tell everybody where they can like that.
I was just gonna say, okay, Amy, tell them what they should do.
Yeah. No, Phil, you tell them.
Well, folks, go on over to DVC Clubhouse on Facebook and like us.
Just all switching spots today. Amy?
You need to, but Scott, you need to do your Phil voice. I heard you do your Phil voice.
Oh, yes, let's hear
when
this.
we were at the cabin.
I don't know. I got to get close enough to the microphone. You got to go, welcome home. Welcome home. I don't think I'm deep enough tonight.
How dare you say that?
All right. Anyway, let's just wrap this up.
Plutomonia.
if you want to hear more of this nonsense or engage with us more, find us on Facebook at DVC Clubhouse, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Listen to our podcast every Monday, wherever you listen to podcasts. And until next time, we'll DVC you real soon.
Bye, guys.
Have a great night.
See you guys.
And so our journey comes to an end.
Oh, no, please, can't we go back to page 1 and do it all over again?
Started this thing together, and that's how we'll finish it.
Because that, my friends, is where the magic lives.